Good evening and welcome to Courageous Woman Magazine Live. And I'm your host, Dr. Talisha Berry. Courageous Woman Magazine is an inspirational publication that highlights extraordinary women in business and entertainment. And this is the live version of the magazine. A lot of the women that you see on the panel, on the show, they are featured in the magazine. So you can go to courageouswomanmag.com and find out more about the magazine. Tonight, we are joined by an inspiring international panel of powerhouse women breaking barriers and creating opportunities worldwide, from business and media to education and wellness. These leaders share a common mission to uplift and empower others with purpose and courage. Get ready for an eye opening discussion on their journeys, hard earned wisdom, and strategies for success. Now, let's dive in and talk to these amazing women. I'm just super excited. Women's History Month has been, we've done 5 panels already, and we have one more. So I'm super excited. We've had some phenomenal women. Thank you all who have tuned in and watched and who have been here with us the 14 years we've been doing Courageous Woman Magazine. So thank you. I appreciate all of you for your continuous support. So let's dive in to our first guest. From Sydney, Australia. Dr. Angela Bennett is a catalyst for transformation, guiding women to discover their true identity, break free from adversity, and step boldly into their God given purpose. As an 8-time best-selling author, dynamic speaker, and CEO of Angie B Transformation, she specializes in mindset, renewal, financial independence, and personal empowerment. A mentee of the legendary Dr. Les Brown, Angela inspires with raw transparency, unshakable faith, and passion for helping women rediscover who they are. Hey, all the way from Australia.
Hey. Hi, Dr. Talisha. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for being here on our panel, Women's History Month. This is our international panel. So you are here representing Australia.
Woo!
Yes. One of my first question is, how can women overcome personal adversity to build thriving businesses and careers on a global scale?
I absolutely love this question. And my story is proof. I've walked through absolute complete wreckage, prostitution, domestic violence, financial abuse, and even addiction. But through faith, through healing, and through strategic action, I completely rebuilt my life. And now I run a thriving digital marketing business and a coaching business. Women need to know that their past does not disqualify them and it does not define them. And healing is the foundation, because we cannot build a lasting business on a broken identity. Our business is only as strong as our mindset, and healing from personal adversity is the first step. It is paramount. Isaiah 61:3 says he gives us beauty for ashes, that he gives us oil for the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. God turns our pain into purpose. And what I love about that is that generally wherever our pain point is, it's usually our purpose, Dr. Talisha. And it's where we are propelled into our purpose through that pain, through the healing that God will bring us through. Women, and the beauty of women in business, women today can create wealth online with really small and minute, like minimal outlay. or overhead even. And so digital businesses like mine allow women to work from home, break free from financial dependency, and also serve their purpose on a global scale. So I know with me, some of the abuse also included financial abuse. And so now that I am financially independent, I love to teach women to be financially independent, because they can then contribute to the family, and they have that ability to be able to make choices that will be protective to them and to their husbands and to their children. And they just have that ability to be able to support themselves. It's like the Proverbs 31 woman, right? She had several streams, multiple streams of income. And I love it when a woman is doing this, because she's a perfect example of how we can follow in her footsteps and how we can live a godly, righteous, financially abundant life. So yeah, 5 minutes.
Wow. Well, you know what? I want to stay there for a second. Mindset. What are some of the things that you do to help? You mentioned mindset. What are some of the things that you do to help women find their purpose? You said it starts in the mind, with the mindset. How do you work with women?
Our mind. Do you remember the book? What's her name? I can see her face and I just cannot think of her name. Joyce Meyer. She had that book, Battlefield of the Mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started to learn about the mind and the battlefield of it. And so with myself, my experience was depression, suicidal ideation, and even attempts, and oppression. And I had to learn what my God says about me, because society will tell you something different, particularly with messy backgrounds. Society will put you in a box that they think that you need to stay there, like a prostitute. I was a prostitute. I sold my body to make money and compromised in so many ways. And society puts me in this box. But my God does not put me in this box. Your God does not put you in a box. He gives you wings to fly. He heals you. He washes your slate clean. And so what I've learned is, over the years, I have learned scriptures that I can say to myself, scriptures to turn them into declarations. The world has positive affirmations, right? They actually came from the Bible. Gratitude and thanksgiving started in the Bible. And so what we need to do is really look at the scriptures and understand, I am his delight. My King sings over me. He rejoices over me. And even the word daughter means acceptable to God. The word daughter means rejoice in God's peculiar care and protection. That's what he says about you. And so when the enemy comes at you and tries to attack you, you're not good enough. Rejection, that he gets thrown at us. This person doesn't like you. Look how they treated you. You're not good enough. You don't fit in. All of the rubbish that he throws at us, we must put on the armor of God, the helmet of salvation. That helmet, that crown that Jesus had shoved into his scalp, that's our mind. That's our mind. Like that's the full symbol right there. Protect your mind. I have covered your mind. I have taken the crown of thorns. I have covered your mind. Your mind is a sacred place, and the enemy will come at you. And we need to know without a doubt who our God says that we are, and we need to be able to combat those thoughts and those darts that the enemy throws at us. As soon as we see them coming, as soon as we feel them, as soon as we hear that first thing, we need to go, no, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. My God says such and such. I'm an overcomer. I am righteous. I am holy. I stand as a daughter of the King of Kings, the one that every knee will bow. Satan, you have been made a spectacle at the cross. You have no place. I have authority and dominion over you. Right? And so we actually have to take the steps to be able to live victoriously, because God's already won it. It's already finished. We allow these thoughts to continually come and continually manifest, because the more we focus on it, the more that it will manifest, the more it will just grow. And so we have to take that stand. We have to do the work. We have to combat it. We have to take our authority that's given to us through Jesus Christ.
Right. Wow. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here on Courageous Woman Magazine Live, all the way from Australia. Your life, Dr. Angela, is a testament what women can do, what courageous women can do. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And we got to have you on again, because I just felt that conversation is more that we need to share. So I'm definitely going to invite you back to be part of another episode and the magazine, Courageous Woman Magazine. Thank you again.
Amen. Thank you for having me.
That was awesome. That was Dr. Angela Bennett from Australia. I am enjoying, you're going to enjoy this international show we are doing. Women from all over the world read and are part of Courageous Woman Magazine. And these are some of the most phenomenal women that have been here with us, hanging out with Courageous Woman for some years now. So my next guest represents Turks and Caicos. Dr. Kutela Talbot is a media powerhouse, using the airways to amplify diverse voices. As the CEO of 88.5 FM, The Beat, she leads a platform that features local artists through thought leaders and activists passionate about using media to inspire, educate, and unite communities. She is dedicated to ensuring that everyone's voice is heard. Welcome, Dr. Kutela Talbot. I think you are muted.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. I am so well. I just want to start off by saying thank you for the opportunity to be a part of Women's History Month. And thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this awesome platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you've been here for a while, some years now. So you've been a part of other issues as well as our events. So thank you for being part of Courageous Woman Magazine. And I've gotten the opportunity to come to Turks and Caicos, which I absolutely love. I'm like, that is my place to just relax. I love it. If you have never been to Turks and Caicos, find out more about Turks and Caicos.
Wow, you know, you just promoted Turks and Caicos.
I love it. It's all good. I love it. I want everybody to know.
Yes, thank you.
You know, you've built a powerful platform of 88.5 FM.
Yes.
How do you see media shaping the future of women's empowerment?
Wow. Well, I want to start off by saying that media is very, very powerful. It's very influential. And I would like to say that the more women emerge into the media mandate, into what it is that they're passionate about, I've seen many women come forward, especially in media, and use their platforms as well as social media platforms as a part of it is media, because as long as you can get your voice out there, I believe that as women step forward and find their authentic voice, find out what is your story, what is your truth, staying true to themselves. You understand? I believe that we are in a time now where women are emerging. To emerge means to come forward. So as long as women come forward and understand their sphere of influence, whether their sphere is in politics, whether their sphere of influence is in religion, whether their sphere of influence is in education, or whether their sphere is media or journalism or in government, whatever that voice is in your sphere of influence, you have the power to impact lives. You have the power to make change. Women are we are the breadwinners. Of course, men are the breadwinners, but women are a part of that breadwinning too, because we have women leading homes, we have men leading homes. So we are living in a time of gender equality. You understand? And as women begin to rise and take their rightful place in the world, whether it's in media, they can amplify their voice, use their story as to what have you been to? What have you been through? How did you get to point B, let me say from the back, because we're getting down to point A, or you did all the A, B, C, and D, but how did you get there? How are you going to use what you've been through? How are you going to use some of the challenges that you've been through to shape lives, to inspire lives, to bring about this change? Women have to understand their value, understand their worth, and understand that their story, their storytelling. How are you using that story to bring about that change? You understand? How are you using it to influence others? How are you inspiring? How are you educating? So media is a very powerful mandate in all aspects of society. If you don't use media, how are people going to know about your message? If you don't use media, how the world is going to know about you? If you don't use media, how are you going to affect change? It's amazing that some stories need to be told. We see in a world where there's a lot of negativity. It's time now, as women, we show the world that there are some positive things in this world that we can use media to showcase. Women are coming forward in politics. Women are coming forward in government, in education. Young women are using their voices for change. So find out what it is your passion, because once you connect your passion would bring you straight to your purpose. And I tell a lot of people, it's amazing that you even asked me the question, because the more and more I do what I love, it's not a job for me. It's you cannot pay me for what I do. You cannot pay me for what I love to do. You cannot even stop me or hinder me from what I love to do. I love media. Media is like my identity. You understand? It's my identity, because I have learned how to transform lives through that. Your message is very, very important. What you give out to the world, you have to know that you cannot take it back, whether it's good or bad. And the media is a part of that. If
Right.
you look at the news, or even in the recent elections, as in Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and you see how Donald Trump always say, well, the media is this, the media is that. That's always a part of his story. Well, the media is this, the media of that. So the media can influence lives. The media can influence the way you think. You have to know what is truth and what is a lie. You have to do your research. So we have to be careful as to what we are listening to, what we are tuning into, who is your source? Where are you getting your source of information from? So that is very, very important, is to be authentic. Find your voice, find out what your message is to the world. Stick
Oh,
to that.
oh,
Don't copy anything from anybody else, because you would not be able to find your voice. I remember, let me give you a little story. I hope it's not too long, but I just want to talk about the authentic voice. I remember I started out in radio in 2016. In terms of, I've always had a radio station from in my 20s. When I was 21, we had a radio station, but I was always afraid to really step into that influence to make that impact. And I would go in the mirror and I would sit down and I would just tell a story to myself, and I would just practice how I want to be heard on the radio or in television. I've always had the product, but I didn't use what I had in my belly to bring about that change, because your gift is everything that you need is locked up on the inside of you. It's in your belly. And if it's not in your belly, you can't bring it forward in your mouth. You can't bring it out. So it lives. Everything that I was going through was living on the inside of me. And one day, my grandmother said to me, she was like, "You tell her, I heard you in the mirror, and you were just going off, and you were just talking, and you were just shouting, and you were just preaching." And she said, "Here's what I want you to do: sit down and write out your story, write out your message. Don't even read anything from any woman, any man. Don't listen to anything for a whole week. Find out your authentic voice." He said, because your voice print is very important on the earth. And
That is
people
important.
know
That
when
is
you are
important.
authentic. People
Hmm.
know when that's you and it's coming from you, because it's a sound that you're going to make. It's a special and unique sound. And she said, what you're carrying is very unique. And she said, when you get on the radio, because I know you're going to do it, daughter. She said, when you get on the radio, you speak with authority, you speak with grace, and
And you really do. Thank you. You do it. You do it. I've heard you. I've been there at Turks and Caicos, and you do an amazing job with that radio
thank
station
you,
and
thank you.
being the host. And you've done this. How long have you been doing this radio station?
We've had three radio stations.
Wow.
I maybe what 20 something years I've had radio, but me personally had started out in radio in 2016. I've
Wow.
I've done little shows,
You've done it. You've
speaking
done it.
on radio here or there, and actually it was my own platform. But I
That is
was
awesome.
afraid. I was afraid to come forward until my grandmother said to me, take some time out and find your voice, develop your voice,
Yes.
develop your craft.
Don't you
And
just love grandmothers? Don't you just love grandmothers?
oh
Absolutely
my
love my
God, I missed her
grandmother.
so much. I must say, I
Yes.
missed her
Yes.
so much.
88.5 is 88.5, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Make sure if you are in Turks and Caicos or anywhere not near, you can get onto 88.5
that's right.
FM in Turks and
That's
Caicos.
right.
Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Cotella.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's get ready for our next guest. Dr. Cotella, all the way from Turks and Caicos, y'all.
Yes, yes, yes.
My next guest is in the building, Dr. Daphne Soares, all the way from Dubai. Dr. Daphne is a 22-time award-winning international best-selling author, NLP master, and business and lifestyle coach. After spending 13 years in the corporate world, she transitioned into entrepreneurship and founded Carousel Moms Business and Lifestyle Coaching. Her mission is to help women achieve financial freedom, but thriving business and step into a life of choice and purpose. Please welcome Dr. Daphne Soares.
Hello, hello,
Hey,
hello.
how are
Hey,
you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good. I know it's a different time there in Dubai.
It's 3:30 a.m.
Well, thank you. So I know all of you all have different time zones, but I appreciate you so much for staying up and
It's
being on
all worth
here.
it. That's what the courageous woman does, right? Breaks
Yes,
all barriers.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, you have been a part of Courageous Woman. You've been one of our books. You've been doing a lot of things, and I see you everywhere doing your thing internationally. How has that been for you?
That's been exciting, really going across the globe, connecting. You learn so much about cultures, people, and also at times I've visited some of the countries. So I'm still on that venture. You visit new places. So it's nice to connect besides online, connecting with people in person. So it just adds more beauty and flavor to life.
Awesome. Now, what key global business trends should women entrepreneurs be aware of to expand their reach internationally?
First of all, there's no barriers right now. Ever since COVID happened, even those who were not techie and stuff like that, we were just thrown into the deep ocean, right? So we face those challenges, and I think I look at it positively, that it is a blessing in disguise. Because had that not happened, we wouldn't be pushed out of our comfort zone. And when we are pushed out of our comfort zone, we are tried and tested just like gold is tested by fire. And we need to be that fire, really spreading love, warmth, and empowering other women. Because courageous women does not mean only being yourself, the brave one and the warrior. It's similar to an army. The army
Mhm.
goes together out in war, and we need as women to really, hold hands together and support each other to the maximum that we can, to show that we might be from different castes, colors, race, and creeds, but one thing stands common, that all of us are queens, and a queen always fixes the crown of another queen.
Yes, say that again. Yes, absolutely. That is so real. That just warmed my heart to hear you say that. A queen always fixes her another queen's crown. That is
Exactly.
a
That's
beautiful
so
thing.
important.
And when we get that, and we get that in our spirit, we grow. We go bigger and
Exactly.
better because we're supporting others. And that's the foundation of Courageous Woman. I heard you say something about um, like coming together like an army, like a soldier. Like that's my vision when I
Mhm.
started Courageous Woman. It was me going through a troubled time and women of God that came for me and prayed for me and picked me up to and pushed me to do Courageous Woman. So that I feel that
And
wholeheartedly.
we must create the ripple effect, right? Because if you
Absolutely.
receive support, it doesn't stop with your success. You
Mhm.
need to let that flame keep burning and pass it on to everyone. And I've seen that with you, especially that I've also contributed, co-authored a book with you and been in your magazine before and received even, I think, an award earlier, right? But I would say that it doesn't just stop here. We need to keep on, because the world is very big and the world needs us.
Absolutely.
They need
Absolutely.
to hear our story and to have us as role models who have gone ahead. As my mentor say, we need to stand on the shoulders of giants. So if we stood on giants, we need to be the giant for someone else weaker than
Yes.
us and
Yes.
help them to be stronger also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you've had some challenges, even in your business, transitioning from corporate to entrepreneurship. How did you overcome those?
It was a tough challenge, a very a rather tough question also from your side, because I did not immediately transition from the 13 years corporate experience. I did not move into entrepreneurship. I had a huge gap, not a small, but a huge gap, because 13 years is before I got married. And then I got married and I moved to Dubai. Originally, I'm from Pakistan. So we moved to Dubai. My husband got a job and then we moved on. And with that, I became 100% stay at home mom. And with that, it was quite different, because in Dubai, we don't have extended families and you have to manage it totally on your own inexperience. My daughter came first and then my son followed up. It was quite a challenge. I did do treasure every minute that I had with my kids, but with that, you have a lot of gap from the changes that are happening in the world. As you know, technology and everything keeps on changing, right? So I
Mhm.
had that gap. And then to come back into the workplace was a challenge. Plus, I did not want to leave the kids and the home neglected, because we strongly coming from cultural backgrounds, we do not want, we believe in children being raised by the mother. There's no better
Mhm.
choice than that,
Right.
than
No.
leaving them with maids or leaving them on their own, and just risking. What's the use? And my husband said that, what's the use of the money, having the money but losing the kids? So I was 100% stay-at-home mom when I came up into doing business. And for me personally, since I've done it through commitment and focus completely of where I wanted to be,
Mm.
That is where I'm now empowering moms through Carousel Moms, which is my business name. So I empower women to break free, because it's nowhere said that we are only meant to be confined to the kitchen and the home
Mhm.
and within those four walls. We
Mhm.
are so full of talents and empowerment, because who does the kids spend most time with? It's
Mhm.
with the woman of the house, right?
Mhm.
Women are at home, and then the children are mostly, yes, the husband is mostly out of the house working. He goes in the morning, comes in the night. But if
Mhm.
the children don't see a powerful woman who is happy,
Mhm.
empowered, and
Yes,
motivational,
it makes a
what will
difference.
exactly, as
Mhm.
if, if you feel like wanting to study or to do anything successful in life, you need a role model. It's like monkey see, monkey do. You don't
Mhm.
see, you don't do. So
Right.
I find that really giving, and when a woman is happy, she performs better. The whole home is
Absolutely.
happy. Because if there's
Absolutely.
a sad, broken-hearted mother, then think what happens to the home. The whole home is
Yeah,
shattered and destroyed.
absolutely.
So
Yes.
that's what I do. I'm literally empowering, because I've been through that journey of being a full stay-at-home mom and then becoming an entrepreneur. And it's the best life ever. I literally enjoy it. I can run my business on my timings, on
Mm.
my terms, what I love, what suits my family. And I'll also be soon traveling. I'm receiving 4 awards from the UK at the end of this month.
Awesome.
So like it's like the family doesn't go neglected, and especially if
Right.
we can work, still be
It's a
connected to
balance.
family.
You've learned to
Exactly.
balance. Absolutely.
So
Thank
when you
you.
come with that energies, you set fire to everyone around you. So it's a beautiful journey. I'm just loving the process.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
here on our international panel. Don't go anywhere. We are going to come back with the panel in just a little
Sure,
bit.
most
All
definitely.
right.
Thank you.
My next guest is Dr. Gail James. She is originally from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Dr. Gail James is a licensed trauma therapist dedicated to helping people move from pain to power. With years of expertise in mental health and emotional healing, she specializes in guiding individuals towards resilience and self restoration. She believes that true freedom begins with healing and that every woman deserves to live a life free from the weight of past trauma, and drama. Welcome.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, always. It's always a pleasure having you. You're just one of the most special people I know that are a part courageous woman. I've enjoyed working with you on 2 of your books. So I appreciate you very much.
Three,
Yeah,
passion and purpose.
listen, 3. See? 3. It's been a journey. It's been a wonderful journey. Seeing you blossoming as an author, and you out here doing. You already were fabulous doing your thing, but to see how you have really impacted people with your books and the stories. Um, uh, Movie is next, right? We about to do a movie, right?
Yes, yes, yes. We're working on it.
Yes, ma'am. It is going to happen. So, I wanted to ask you about the healthcare business. You are both doing. You have a healthcare business in both Florida and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Both. What challenges and opportunity do you face in a global healthcare industry? How have you been able to manage that?
I would say one of the biggest challenges is finding dependable staff. That is definitely one of the challenges. The need is greater in the US Virgin Islands. I didn't market anything, and I had a lot more than what I would say I have in Florida. However, I think putting patient care as the number one priority is an issue I find with staff. And when it's your business and you have a passion for it, and you're determined to see people health get better, to see them get
Mhm.
better health wise, your outlook on it is different from your staff. And so
Mhm.
I'm in the process of learning that everybody's not going to treat my business the way I do, because their
Right.
passion is not in it as mine is.
Right.
So the mental health I prefer better than the home health, because the mental health don't have as much challenges. But yeah, that I would say the biggest challenges is good staff. And in the Virgin Islands, pair sources in the Virgin Islands,
Mhm.
they don't pay. I'm
Okay.
just gonna be honest.
Well, tell the truth. You know how we do.
From the U.S. Virgin Islands, but if it's federal funds, you good. If it's local funds, they still owing me, along with a whole bunch of other vendors. But that's
Yeah.
just how they do business there. And
Right.
so that
Wow.
was a huge challenge, going in there. And the need is there. The need is there. There's
Mhm.
nothing there. There's no services there. There's no facilities there. They need the services, but somebody has to step up and want to do right by the community for it to
Mhm.
change.
Wow. Now, your talk, and your both of your books are about healing. Many women struggle with healing from past trauma. What are some first steps they can take to start their journey, their healing journey?
Well, I would say first you got to identify it, because if you don't identify it, if you don't confront it, you can't confront it. And so a lot of us are not able to confront a thing because we haven't identified it. You first have to identify, like, there is a problem. I have an issue, and it stems from whatever the problem is. And then once you can identify it, then you get to the root of the problem. Where is it stemming from? I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse by 3 of my male siblings. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I understand that the trust issues that I have as a big grown 52-year-old woman goes all the way back to my 6-year-old self. And
Mhm.
so when you understand those things, you're able to deal with it. So you first have to identify it. Then you have to understand that, okay, that is what it is, and get to the root of the thing. Because if you don't get to the root of it, you can never get healing. And then once you get to the root of it, then you start your healing journey. And sometimes your healing journey comes before getting to the root of it, because sometimes a therapist might help you to get to the root of it. But once you get to that root, and you say, okay, I need to work on this. You know, I feel like a lot of us are leading from a hurt place, and we
Mhm.
bleeding on people that didn't cut us. We do it in business, we do it in ministry, we do it in all areas of our lives. I was intentional on my journey in understanding that, okay, the childhood sexual abuse was one thing, the domestic violence was one thing, me trying to commit suicide twice was one thing, depression was another thing. When you've been through all of those things, you have to look self in the mirror and do self-reflection and be self-aware of, okay, sometimes if I'm in a situation and my voice elevates, so my response is off, maybe it's not the person, maybe it's me, because something triggered me. So identifying your triggers is definitely another one. And last but not least, forgiveness, because we walk around holding in all of these things from
Mhm.
hurt that someone else have done to us. And what happens is we miss our future because we're busy in the past. So something could be right there, you right on the brink of getting to what God needs you to get to, your purpose, your passion, your destiny, but you hinder yourself from getting there because you still focus on the past. True healing is understanding it happened, I acknowledge that it happened. I identified that it happened, and I desire to be healed, set free, and delivered from it. What does that look like for me so that I can be the best authentic version of myself?
You said it. You said a lot. You said a lot about healing, about um, just when you live in the past, how does a person really, as people have had some really deep wounds from family to relationships, that they continue to be angry, How do you get to that spot where you that you have to forgive? How do they get to there? Because some people just can't figure that part out. What is the step to get to that piece of forgiveness?
You have to love you enough.
Mm.
It's simple. Because if I walk around holding a grudge on my mom or my siblings, they're living their best life. Meanwhile, I'm dying on the inside because I'm miserable, tore up, and just torn up on the inside while they're living their best life. It's not about them, it's about me. So I never forget when God told me, forgive my mama for an apology I'll never get. Most of us get stuck in that place right there, waiting for an apology. What if you never get that apology? You're going to dwell in that space? No, you need to let it go. It's not for them, it's for you. Let it go so you can live a life of peace, restore your joy, discover your destiny and your purpose, because toxicity tears away at your very inner being. And we let it happen because we lack forgiveness. Forgive. And the way to forgive is to say, okay, they haven't apologized. Okay, they don't seem remorseful. But what does life look like for me if they never apologize? Life's going to still have to go on. So am I going to go on living miserable and toxic, or am I going to go on and be free? And being free means I forgive you for an apology I'll never get. You may not have access to me anymore, but I forgive you, I love you, and I'll pray for you and move on.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do in helping women in mental health. It is something that is a really big thing right now, that we have a lot of mental health issues in the world. So I appreciate what you do and the heart you have for supporting men and women and children. We all I've had my issues. I've had mama issues, daddy issues, ex-husband issues. And so for me, I knew the key. Growing up in church and having that spiritual foundation, I knew that I wasn't going to be well if I don't forgive. I gotta live. Live like with peace, not always angry every time I pick up the phone or think. And those triggers are real. Triggers are real. So you have to learn to cope.
Healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries.
Yes, yes. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And let's mention your book.
You Can Heal. The book and the workbook is on sale right now at Amazon. Feel free to go and buy your version.
Yes.
And the workbook.
You Can Heal by Dr. Gail James. And the other book, the first one.
From the Pit to the Palace.
I love that.
On Amazon. Go buy your.
Yes, From the Pit to the Palace and You Can Heal, both by Dr. Gail James. It's available on Amazon.
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to bring everybody back up. We have a couple people that have not made it yet, but we are going to ask you all a couple of questions and on the panel.
All right.
Dr. Kutella. So I'm going to actually, we have a commercial that we're supposed to play. I normally have someone here to support and help. My co-host is not here tonight. She's out being courageous. So I'm managing the entire back end here. So bear with me just a little bit. Dr. Kutella, well, I'll just go ahead and move on. My first question, ladies, is, and we just talked about this too, what role does mindset play in breaking through personal and professional barriers?
Well, your mindset is the key, because your mindset sets the stage. It's your perspective. So in counseling, we say your thoughts become your behaviors. So if it starts up here, you will see it display in your actions. So whatever is in that mind is exactly what we will see play out. If you're angry and mad at everything, we know that you have something going on up here that has not been addressed. There's a underlying situation that causes you to be so angry. So the mind plays a very big part because it's the perspective. Your mind sets the tone.
Right. Um, how do you balance personal life and career growth while staying true to your purpose?
I was going to let somebody else go.
It's only Dr. Soros here.
You need to be focused and get very clear on your goals. Where are you heading? It's just similar like driving a car. If you do not know where is your end destination, how can you further move? And then you look at what is on your plate. How are you dividing that meal equally to present it to yourself? Because otherwise, it's sure, especially for women, to get burnt out because you're juggling between home, your church, your community, and your workplace. So, having those proper segments, knowing where you are heading and how to get everything involved with the correct balance, as the business name goes of mine, Carousel Moms, meaning you have to be balanced in your carousel of life to be successful.
Awesome, awesome. Now, how can women leverage global networks and collaborations to expand their reach?
How
Want to
can
go
they
first, Gail?
leverage? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
Go.
Both of you can answer that question, actually.
Okay. So, you want to go first, Gail? Go
No,
for it.
you go ahead. You go ahead, Dr. Daphne. You go right ahead.
Okay, go. Could you repeat that, Alicia, please?
How can women leverage global networks and collaborations to expand their reach? Now, we did a collaboration. You were part of the
Exactly. The best is the online, right? We have
Mhm.
all these platforms like StreamYard, Zoom, Google Meet, and stuff like that. So it's from the comfort of your home or your office or any time. Like right now, I'm sitting at nearly it's going to be 4 a.m. in the morning and I'm still connecting with the US from Dubai. So from any corner, and it's also the best about being online and going globally, it's pocket friendly and
Mhm.
time friendly because you save on your time, your travel, and your pocket. So you can do some charity with that by saving the pennies.
I love that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love
Okay.
that.
Well, let me ask you this question. What advice would you give to a woman who feels stuck in their current situation and don't know how to move forward?
Well, first I would say identify trying to identify why she feels stuck. And in order to identify why she feels stuck would be examining her life. What has changed? Okay, you used to be outgoing, you're not outgoing anymore. What does that look like? Okay, you feel like you're not motivated anymore. Identify first what has changed in your life that makes you feel stuck. And then once you've identified that, then come up with a solution as to, okay, since these are the changes that I'm seeing and they're not positive changes, they're negative changes, how can I turn that around to make it positive? Okay, what can I do to get motivated again? Do I need a therapist? Do I need a good girlfriend that is motivating? Do I need prayer? What is it that will take me out of this funk? Because sometimes we get in a funk and we can't get out the funk because we don't know why we got there. But if you go back and start, I'm a journaler. So if you go back and start looking back at what you used to do and where things changed, that you'll eventually find out what the problem is, and then you can tackle the root of the problem.
Mhm. Mhm. That's it. You got to be able to go to the root of the problem. Sometimes people just get all bent out of shape and pointing fingers when they need to point the finger at them.
Yes.
Yes. So I know both of you can answer this question. I know Dr. Gail, you've been in ministry, you're in business, and Dr. Suarez, you've been in corporate. How do you balance life? Oh, no, I'm sorry. What strategies do you use to navigate male-dominated industries or spaces?
You gotta be confident first. You gotta believe in self. Like, and I feel like when you get in those spaces, you confidence have to exude you. Like, you can't walk in a space and head down and talking under your breath. You have to dominate that space. In other words, yeah, I'm here, I'm confident in my skill, my craft, I know what I'm doing, and I believe in me, and I'm telling you I can get this done. And I think that's what a lot of us fail at as women is we go into these spaces and we feel like, oh, I don't want to say this, I don't want to say that. No, say it, but you have to be confident when saying it, because a lot of us don't recognize that when you speak, people can tell if you lack confidence.
Mhm,
The way you carry yourself, the way you talk, it speaks for itself.
mhm. Do you have an answer for that too, Dr. Suarez? You worked in corporate for
Hmm.
13 years.
And I live in a very strong male dominant part of the world. Well, I guess you need to just believe in yourself and keep going. They will put you down. They will be different because, again, it's like, the women are the weaker sex as they feel that way. But we are not weaker, we are stronger
Mhm,
because the amount that we can do and take and yet juggle home and work and everything is truly commendable.
mhm.
Like a
Wow.
man goes to work and he comes and he wants to rest in the evening, but our work is 24/7. It never ends. And if we confidently stand up for ourselves, and women need to be united,
Mhm,
Yes.
because when women are stronger together, we are such a powerful tribe that nothing can shake us no matter what on the face of the earth. And that's why I can proudly say, because of the confidence I have in myself, and I keep going. Not that I've had people only wowing me, people have been saying things, but because I believe, I've accepted myself. Like right now, if somebody tells me anything, whether the way I look, I do things or stuff like this, I'll say, thank you very much. You can go your way, I'll go my way. That's my life. And that is why I was even elected as the president for the women empowerment in Pakistan. So if I'm could be the president for the women empowerment in Pakistan, where women are mostly quiet, they're kept in the homes, they never open their mouth, and they always ask me that please do something and make all the women like yourself. I said, I'm
mhm,
good where I am, and I strongly believe women, no matter what you do, be confident in yourself and stick to your values and your beliefs. Do not compromise your family values and your beliefs in your faith. Continue that and just keep rising and soaring to success.
awesome, awesome. Yes, I know you have always been a confident. That you exude confidence, especially with that beautiful purple hair. You definitely exude that. I have one more question. How can women support and uplift each other to ensure a collective success on a global scale?
I feel like if I'm doing something and like if I see Dr. Daphne doing something, there's no harm in supporting her. There's no harm in liking her stuff, even on social media. There's no harm in sharing it. There's no harm in commenting on it. I think we need to get out of the mindset of if I support this person, they'll get higher than me. Because God will never take your blessing and give to me, and He'll never take mine and give to you. We
Mhm,
can be more successful together. You can
mhm,
support women easily now because we're in a social media age. All it takes is a share, a comment, and a like to push forward that woman into where she needs to go. And but
mhm,
yet some of us don't do it because we are afraid they're gonna get hired. And I don't know how that becomes a problem, but that's the way we can definitely support each other globally. We're in a social media age, and it's simple.
mhm. It is. It's so simple just to support, just to say a simple comment sometimes is encouraging to women. So that's the bottom line is we must support each other. That is the foundation of Courageous Woman Magazine, of supporting one another. I'm always, even doing these type of interviews and panels, I always say, y'all connect. And then I see them connecting and getting together and doing conferences and all that kind of stuff. Well, don't forget about me. So yeah, it's a blessing to have been here with Courageous Woman for, this is our 14th year. So it has been a journey, and we're still here. We're still going strong and dabbling into some other areas of business. So I am appreciative to all of the people, all of you who have been here. Thank you, Dr. Gail. Thank you, Dr. Daphne Suarez. I appreciate you all. And those of you who have been watching, if you missed any of this show, make sure that you go and see the replay on YouTube. It is there. It will be there. All of the episodes from the Women's History Month panel are there on our YouTube, Courageous Woman Magazine Live on YouTube. Thank you to all of the guests. Thank you to Dr. Cotella, who is from Turks and Caicos. I want to say where you are from again. Dr. Gail, where are you from?
St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes. And Dr. Suarez?
Dubai. The city of gold. You guys need to come here and visit me.
I'm gonna come this year.
Me too.
Yeah, you better connect with me.
It was so hot there. But I loved it. But I was like, woo.
Dr. Daphne, I'm coming this year. I promise I'm coming this year.
But don't come in between June and say September. Otherwise, we'll roast you and barbecue you.
Yes.
Don't worry.
And
yes, I was barbecued. Okay. But it was fun. It was a great experience, and I want everybody to do that. So I'm going to come and bring some other courageous women too. So
maybe you could have the same thing rather than StreamYard and YouTube. Have it live in Dubai. Bring all your audience.
Let's get it happening. See what I'm saying? It's all about collaboration. Let's get it together. Always support one another. I support both these ladies, and anything you do, whenever you need me, just call me. I got you. All right. So I want to thank you all for being here and being part of Courageous Woman Magazine. I appreciate and love you all. You both.
Thank you.
I love you too.
All right. That was our show tonight, our international panel. Thank you, Dr. Cotella Talbot, for being here, Dr. Gail James, and Dr. Daphne Suarez. Thank you for being here, and as well as Dr. Angela Bennett, who opened our show all the way from Australia. This has been a wonderful, wonderful experience speaking to our women who are part of Courageous Women, but are from other countries. That's a blessing. So that's our show for tonight. Remember, you are capable of achieving greatness, and we are here to support your every step of the way. Don't forget to follow us on social media. You'll see the clips on TikTok and on YouTube for more empowering content, and to check out the clips and anything that you miss, you can always get it on YouTube. Until next time, keep shining, keep believing in yourself, and always be courageous. Have you been thinking about writing a book but don't know where to start? Do you have a story, an expertise, or a message the world needs to hear? The problem isn't that you can't write it, it's that you need the right guidance. I've published over 500 authors, and now it's your turn. Get clear on your book's purpose. Organize your ideas in a powerful structure. Learn industry secrets to publishing success. Whether you're a coach, an entrepreneur, or a speaker, this masterclass will take you from idea to concept fast. Don't let another year go by without writing your book. Sign up today and let's make your dream a reality. Visit courageouswomanmag.com/write the book to get more details on the Write the Right Book Masterclass. Your book is waiting. Are you ready?